You are mad. I am mad. Everybody possesses some little bit of madness. But the madness can only be classified by a medical doctor through diagnosis. Are you okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Now, let's go on. We have finished with why psychology, the definition of psychology. So if I ask you to define and explain what psychology is, you will talk about all these. You talk about the goals. You talk about the schools. You talk about a lot of things. Now, let's go to the schools of psychology. The schools of psychology. In the olden days, psychology started with what is known as structuralism. In the olden days, psychology came up with what is known as structuralism. Structuralism. That is, they were interested in the structure of the mind. So when you hear structuralism, structuralism is only interested in the structure of the mind, or what comes together to form the mind. What comes together to form the mind. Structuralism. Then we go to functionalism. Functionalism. By functionalism, we mean what the mind can do for you to adapt in the environment. So from structuralism, the school of psychology then came to functionalism. What can we do? What can this mind do for us to adapt into the field of psychology, or for us to adapt in the environment? Then it came to behavioral. It came to behavioral. Behavioral simply means observable behavior, behaviors that we can see, behaviors that we can observe, behaviors that we can all observe is what is known as behavioral. Then the last one is known as Gestalt. Gestalt. Gestalt are interested in combining all these schools into a single one. So they emphasize that the whole is better than the sum of its parts. So we should not concentrate on only the structure, or we should not concentrate on only the functionalism, or we should not concentrate on only the behavior, but we should concentrate on combining all of them. And one thing you must observe is that when we consider the behavioral, in the olden days, there was a man who was known as J.B. Watson. J.B. Watson, W-A-T-S-O-N. J.B. Watson. So he is here. The name is here. J.B. Watson. He said, give me a dozens of children and I can train them to be whom you want them to be. So he belonged to the behavioral. He belonged to the behavioral, and he said, give me a dozens of children and I can train them to be who you want them to be. So what he meant is that if you want your child to be a pastor, I can train him to be a pastor. If you want him to be an armed robber, I can train them to be an armed robber. If you want your child to be to be a teacher, give him to me, and I can train him to be a teacher. If you want your child to be a pastor, you just take him to church. Always. You put him in the room, you train them biblical means, then he will be a pastor. If you want him to be a thief, when you are going out to steal something, you take him along. So that is it. So these are the goals of psychology. In the nutshell, this is what the psychology is about. These are facts about psychology. So everyone should keep in mind that these, what I am going to mention, are facts about psychology. They are facts. Psychology study the mind and behavior. For example, I can read your mind. I can tell you, what you are thinking about based on my training as a psychologist. So we study psychology. Every psychology study the mind. They read the mind. They study human behavior. When I'm talking to you, I observe you. I see the face. I observe you, and I can think that you stole it or not. 2, psychologists rely on the scientific method. Psychologists rely on the scientific method. That is the second thing that everyone should put in mind. Psychologists rely on the scientific method. 3, psychology have many or multiple perspectives. We have many dimensions. We have many subfields, and we are going to learn the subfields. I'm going to mention the subfields for you to see. 4, or what have you, psychology is more than mental health. Psychology, when we say psychology, it is more than mental health. Psychology is more than mental health. Now, I go to the next one. Psychology have many occupations. If you want to work, have many careers, and we are going to learn the many careers that are associated with psychology. Now, please, Abraham, were you saying something?
Yeah, you have jumped. Psychology is all around you.
Oh, that is the last thing that I'm going to talk about. Oh. That is the very important aspect that I'm going to talk about. If you want to study psychology, psychology actually is everything around you. Psychology is all, because everything around you is somebody's behavior, everything. So psychology study everything around us. If you want to study something, you need to study psychology. You will tend to understand human behavior. And then the last one, psychology makes human lives better. For example, as a psychologist, you don't fight anyhow because you understand the reason why somebody is behaving the way the person is behaving. So you will not fight anyhow. So psychology makes human life better. It will make your life better. It will make my life better. It will make everyone's life better. So that is what is known as psychology. Any question? I'm going to pseudo-psychology. Okay, if there is no question, let's go to what is known as pseudo-psychology. I repeat, it is known as, the word is known as pseudo-psychology or parapsychology. What is the meaning of pseudo-psychology or parapsychology? What is the meaning? We have some people who actually claim that they are studying psychology, but they are not psychologists. I don't know, they use unscientific methods, but psychology, you should know that they use scientific method. So pseudo-psychology means false psychology. People who practice false psychology. The first type of pseudo-psychology is known as palmistry. Palmistry. Those who read the palms. When you go to them, when you are born, your parents go to them and then they see your palms and they read your palm and tell you that you are a pseudo-psychologist. No, you have a lot of money. They are just palmistry. They read the palms, and I don't know how they read that. The second one is known as phrenology. So all phrenologists are not psychologists. They predict your character. They predict your character by reading the scar, the head, the scar, the scar. They read it and use it to predict your character. Somebody will say that, you are the scar of your head. If I see it, then I see that you will be an armed robber, because they think that all armed robbers possess the same scar of the head. Then the third one is astrology. Astrology. They can tell your behavior by looking at the moon or the stars or the sun. There are people, when you are born, and then your parents take you to them, they look at the star and say that, for the star, I see that you will be, if you have seen, if anyone who have read the gods are not to be blamed before, when they went to the gods told them that, the gods looked at the star and told them that the child will kill the mother and will kill the father and marry the mother. So all these, they look at the star, or they look at the sun, or they look at the moon and predict your character. Fourth is known as clairvoyance. Clairvoyance. They are those who possess extrasensory perceptions. They have the ability to predict something. They are known as clairvoyants. For example, pastors, they have what is known as clairvoyance. For example, they possess extrasensory perception, because they can look at you and tell you that, well, you are in the next 2 years, you are going to die, or in the next year, you are going to have money. So these are predictions. They have extra perceptions. They can gain extra information based on by looking at you, based on their extrasensory perceptions. So a typical example is the pastors. They can tell you that, I see that you are going to London. Then that will be the order of the day. At times you will observe it. You will think that the time will come where you go to heaven, but it will not come in. They will predict something that will not come in. But I'm not saying that all pastors are like that too, but most of them in Ghana here are like that. They will predict that you have money. I quite remember somebody told me that I will be a military personnel, and I will go to or I will go all over the world. When I finished SS, so I intended not to go to school because I thought my ambition was to be a military personnel based on the prediction of the pastor, but it was lies. I was waiting for when I will be a pastor, a military personnel. Any question? Now, I'm going to the next one. The next one is known as telepathy. Telepathy. Telepathy means transfer of thoughts. Transfer of thoughts. So everyone have seen it probably. Transfer of thoughts. Telepathy. Probably you will think about calling your mother. All of a sudden, you will see your mother's call on your phone. Then he said that, I was thinking of calling you. So it's a transfer of thoughts. You may think of probably calling you a friend, and all of a sudden you will see the friend's call. So that is telepathy, transfer of thoughts. Transfer of thoughts. Now, I'm going to the next one. The next one is known as physiognomy. Physiognomy. This is assessing somebody's character by looking at assessing somebody's personality by looking at the outward appearance. The outward appearance. So you can observe somebody's outward appearance and say that the person can be a good person. Please stay on the line. I'm coming, please. If you can't do it, you can come in, then you can be quiet. If you can't, okay. If you want to, where okay, I'm back, please. I was talking about physiognomy, where you observe somebody's outward appearance and predict his character. For example, you have seen that at times when you are walking by and you see somebody who is dressed anyhow, you would think that that person is an armed robber. So you would tend to pass the other way because you think that based on his outward appearance, that person may be an armed robber. You have predicted the person's behavior based on outward appearance. Okay, that is known as physiognomy. And I'm going to the last one. The last one is known as graphology. Graphology. We predict somebody's behavior, somebody's attitude by looking at the handwriting. By looking at somebody's handwriting. So we can predict somebody's behavior by looking at the handwriting. So when your handwriting is good, then we can say that probably your behavior may be good. So those who possess a bad or poor handwriting, we classify them as having a behavior that is not present. Now, this is the last one, or the last but one. But my last slide will be an assignment. I will give you an assignment. That will be from the last slide. So this is the last but one. This is the specialties in psychology. If you quite remember, I said psychology can have different dimensions or can have different opportunities. So if you do psychology, what are the opportunities, or what are the specialties, or what are the dimensions that are in psychology? One, we have clinical psychology. Two, you can be an industrial psychology. Three, you can be a school psychology. Four, you can be a forensic psychology. Five, you can be a counselor. Six, you can be an experimental psychology. Eight or seven, you can be a developmental psychology. You can be an educational psychology, a social psychology, a media psychology, and a cognitive psychology. So anyone who is a psychologist can study psychology. Somebody will say, if I even study psychology, what job will I do? You can be any of the above. So if you don't understand those that are put here, you can ask me, for example, who is a school psychologist, and I will explain. So who don't understand any of these specialties in psychology, ask me and I will explain.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Sir, please, the experimental psychologist. Please,
I'm explaining. They do experiment. They do experiment and find out about the causes of events. For example, if they want to do effect of alcohol on performance, like they stay in their room. They will have two groups. One group will be giving alcohol. Another group will not be giving anything. Then they see their performance. So they actually engage in experiment. We have all done experiment before. We know when we were in SS, we see that, we hear that SS students are going for experiment, or the science students are going for the experiment. So we have those who do or engage in experiment under psychology. Any question again?
So thank you, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, please kindly explain the cognitive and the developmental psychology.
Please, someone has asked a question. Please, I'm coming. Somebody has said he has learned women have two brains. No, that is palpable false. That is not true. However, let me explain. We have two memories. We have left hemisphere and right hemisphere. Males have dominancy in the left hemisphere. That means males possess higher amount of left hemisphere, and females have dominancy in the right hemisphere. The right hemisphere is responsible for English. That is why females are good in English. However, males' brain is larger, a little bit larger than females. And that is why males are easily to be cloned. That is why males easily clone females, because our brain part is a little bit larger than the females. Please, it's not true that females have two types of brain. It's not true, please. Then the next question is, please, females do not have any two brains, please. Everyone have two brains, but the two brains, we have divided it into two. Okay, who was asking a question? Please ask.
It's Vicky. Sir, I wanted you to explain the developmental and the cognitive psychology.
The what?
the cognitive and the developmental psychology, both.
Okay. With the cognitive, they are interested in studying what we are thinking about. They are interested in studying the internal events. They are interested in studying the internal events. So, how do we study? They are interested in that. What goes on in the mind? When you are studying, what processes are involved? That is the cognitive. And now, when we mention the developmental, they study how we grow. How we grow. You grow from we grow from when we are kids. The processes, you grow to become a child, you grow to become an adult or adolescent, etc., etc. They are interested in how we grow. That is the developmentalist. That's the developmental psychology. Please, do you understand?
Yes, sir. So,
Okay.
please, I have another.
Okay, ask, please.
Please, is there any link between psychology and human temperament? Is there any link in there?
I'm not getting you.
Is there any link between the human temperament, that is the
Please,
melancholy,
you go
the
to the
sad?
temperament. That is the third or the fourth lecture that we have. So you define, we go to the temperament. It's an aspect. Temperament is is a part of psychology.
Okay, sir. Okay.
And we will go
Thank
to
you.
that.
Okay, thank you.
I'd like to explain the forensic and then social media.
Okay. I'm coming, please. I'm coming to explain it.
Oh,
Okay. When we say forensic is a good cause. They are the psychologists who work as a security personnel and as underground cover. So they study behavior. They work with the security personnel and predict where an armed robber can be caught. Are you with me?
yeah.
So they are very important. Okay, who has a question?
It's left with
I'm
social media.
asking this question because I'm going to the last one. Then I will be done.
It's left with social media.
Hello?
Yeah, it's left with social media.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you.
It's left with social media. Social media.
Okay, we have social media. So we have social and media. Social psychology, they study the social issues. They study the social issues. Social, anything social, they study it. And media psychologists, when you go to the media school, they teach them about how you report issues, about how we deal with interviews. So they are the media psychologists. When you go there, they will educate you on how you should report issues so that it doesn't bring about conflict.
Okay.
And then it's left with, let me explain the clinical psychologists. They are interested in studying anyone with a clinical problem, anyone with a psychological problem. They are interested in those who are mad. They study the brain. they study any physical, any psychological problem that you are facing. For example, when you are mad in psychology, we don't call madness as madness. No, we refer it as schizophrenia. Schizophrenia. So if you hear someone saying that you are suffering from schizophrenia, he wants to tell you that you are mad. But we don't mention schizophrenia in psychology. We call it schizophrenia. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So if I say you are suffering from schizophrenia, you have to beat me because I'm telling you that you are mad.
Okay.
This psychologist, that's the clinical psychologist, they also learn that, hey, now, we have the clinical psychologist who knows that we have a female enzyme. We have a female particular enzyme. That enzyme or that hormone is called estrogen. This female hormone is responsible for transfer of physical characteristics. When two females work together for a long time, when you become friends, when two females become friends for a long time and then they work together for a long time, they experience their menses at the same time. It's due to this estrogen. They experience their menses. For example, if one was experiencing it on the first, and one was experiencing it on the 15th, they will come and experience it probably within 10th and 11th. Then they all experience it. This is due to estrogen, a female hormone, and it is part of the things that clinical psychologists study. They study how estrogens influence our behavior. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
And the
Yes, sir.
female, we have a hormone that is known as testosterone. This hormone is responsible for males' features. So we can see that some females will possess females' characteristics, and we tend to say that they are witches. They are not witches. They possess this testosterone, and this makes them experience some of the males' hormone, the male's characteristics. So all these are those things that are learned by clinical psychologists. Any question, or I am done with the clinical side. I'm done with the various fields.
Yes, I have one last question.
Okay, you can ask. Okay.
Okay. Sir, please, what is the distinction between a school psychologist and an educational psychologist?
I was expecting someone to ask, but since none of you was asking, I thought probably you know. Okay, we have school psychologists and educational psychologists. When we have school psychologists are those, normally we say they hire third or person to come and look at their case. But a school psychologist works in the school. They work in the school. When a child has a problem, then they recommend remedy. Or when a child is experiencing any psychological problem, then they recommend or they diagnose and see what is wrong with the child. But school and educational psychology, they doesn't work in the school. They actually develop syllables. They actually develop syllables, what we call syllables. They tell us that when a child is 4 years, you should be taught about this. You shouldn't be taught about that. Else, even if a child who is in kindergarten, we will teach him psychology because we don't know. But a developmental psychologist will tell you that his mind or his brain is not developed enough. So he should not be taught about any abstract things. Okay?
Okay.
Christabel. Christabel.
Sir.
I am on you. Any question?
Yes, sir, please, what about the counseling?
Oh, counseling. We all know counseling. And you also know, don't you know counseling?
No, please.
Oh, a counselor is somebody who advises people. So a psychologist can be trained to acquire the habit or the characteristics of counseling others. So you advise people, and actually pastors have adopted this. Pastors usually counsel others, but pastors are not counselors. Pastors are not counselors, and if they will counsel somebody, it will be based on the biblical means. They will tell you about what the Bible says. But as counselor is somebody who have been taught, who have been trained about how we undergo counseling, how we advise people, how we do encourage others. Are you with me?
Yes, please.
So a pastor is not a counselor, but a pastor can come to school and learn counseling in addition with the biblical means.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Any question? Amanda.
Yes, sir, please, I'm here.
Any question?
No, sir. Everything is fine.
Okay. Anthony. Mr. Anthony Bedu. Mr. Anthony Bedu. Mrs. or Miss Beatrice Efa, do you have a question?
No, sir, please, you have answered
Okay. Now, I am
about
going to the last slide. Since anybody do not have a question. And this is the question, this is the assignment. This is the question. Okay, I am teaching you this for 10 minutes or 5 minutes. Then you will go and read more about it. It is known as the nature debate. The nature debate. The nature debate. Okay, there is a belief that we acquire our personality through birth. So everything that we are now, we acquire it from our parents through inheritance. So some people look exactly the same as their mother, and we explain that they have acquired that from their mother, that or from their parents. That is known as the nature debate. Everything is innate. Everything was inherited. Everything was gained through our parents, and that is the nature debate. And of course, if you look at some people, they look like the replica of their parents, their attitude, their everything about them looks like their parents. That is the nature. So we believe that they acquire everything from their parents. And the second one is known as the nurture debate. The nurture debate. The nurture debate emphasizes that we acquire everything from experience, from the environment where you are trained, where you are brought up. So while some people believe that we are born or we acquire everything from our parents through inheritance, some people also believe that we acquire everything through experience, through the environment. So I will ask you what you are based on the nature or the nurture. Do we inherit it from our parents or from our experience? Some people, for example, John Locke believed that when you are born, your mind is empty. We say that your mind is tabula rasa. Tabula rasa. Tabula rasa means, please, Nima to mute your mic, please. Okay, thank you. So the tabula rasa, we believe that when you are born, your mind is empty. Your mind is empty. So we acquire everything through experience. So John Locke was an believe in nature. And we have people who also believe in nature, that we acquire everything from birth through inheritance. So my question is that, is it that when we are born, our personality, who you are, like if you are a thief, you inherited it from your parents? If you are an armed robber, please, there is a difference between a thief and an armed robber. If you are an armed robber, you inherited it from your parents. Or is it that everything is inherited from from the environment? Everything is learned from the environment. So this is the chart. This chart indicated. So we have hereditary, that is those who believe in the nature debate. We inherit everything. And those who believe in the nature believe that everything is from the environment. That is, we learn it from our peers and also from others. Any question? I'm done. Any question? You are going to write for me. The question I'm giving to you, your assignment is that personality. This is the question. Personality is either acquired through nature or nurture. Personality is acquired through nature or nurture. Discuss. Now, any question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, ask your question, please.
So when it comes to you spoke about all right, you spoke about two ladies living together, and then they develop a particular hormone, and then they begin to have menses together. That is, if they stay together for too long, the dates become exact dates and all that. So how come? Okay, let me put it how I can put it. When you look at husband and wife, when they are living together for some time, they begin to, there's a kind of resemblance. What is the cause of that?
That is also based on a certain type of exam. We are going to go about that. We are going to learn about the enzymes. So we will know all of that. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Please, question. Pastor, I've sent you the slide. So
Okay.
you can share the slide with the class. I've sent it to you, okay?
Okay, I'll do that, sir.
Okay. Any question?
Sir, please, my it's not really a question, but I want to should we put the assignment in this way? Is personality acquired through nature or nurture? Is it possible to put it that way?
Yes, it's personality acquired through nature or nature. Discuss.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Any question? I think we are through, and I hope you enjoy the lecture, isn't
Yes,
it?
we did enjoy. We really appreciate your effort for your explanation and your patience to explain everything to us to our understanding. Thank you
You
very
are always welcome. You are always welcome. I mean, we are here to make you grow. And what I should tell you, I should tell this class that as for me, I don't fail anybody.
Okay.
So you only need to acquire the what we are learning, and everyone will pass. Okay.
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 And
Sir,
what
please,
I
can we
want
see
is
you?
that you should be here. You should
All right.
learn. You should be here and acquire the language. And then, because no one acquire is a tabla rasa. No one is empty-headed. We are here to learn, and that
Yes.
is what I will make sure you the knowledge that you get. That is all.
Thank you.
Sir, please, when are you taking the assignment?
Oh, when you are done, should I give you 2 weeks? Would that do?
No.
Yes,
That's
sir.
fine.
Okay, so I'm
What,
giving
sir?
you 2 weeks. I'm
Sir,
giving
please,
you
is
2
it
weeks. So
individual or the whole class?
Yes. Where we should do it?
individually, you should do your work. We are quadrododo.
Sir, please, are we doing it on the LMS platform?
No, you should send it to me. When you are done, I'll send you my email. Then you send it to me. Okay.
Thank
All
you
right.
so much.
Okay.
And anyone you can contact me if you have a problem. My contact are there, or you can ask your class rep. He will give you my contacts, especially those who are having any mental problems, or those who case or family members are having mental problems. I have we have a hospital, then we can bring in there, then we can diagnose and see what is wrong with the
Yeah.
person. On
Okay.
this note, I wish you all the best. Have the best of the day.
Yes,
We will meet
sir.
next week.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
I appreciate
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
it.
Hello, everyone. Okay, so I'll be sending the slide, but however, there is power outage where I am. My power bank is off. My phones are off. And then we have lecture at 6 to 6:30. So I don't know how, but whoever is connected, let's try and engage the lectures. But I pray that I get some power and then I'll come online as soon as possible. Okay.
That's right. You are fired.
Okay.
Oh.
Thank you.
You are
Mercy.
fired.
Mercy on my head.
Mm,
All right. Bye.
bye.
Okay.
To the man.